Hey everybody, it's Ear Patsy, and I am trying to see whether or not I can use this new deck that I've just acquired, the Orisha Tarot by Andrew McGregor. And I want to see whether or not I could incorporate this into a reading for the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine. And then I realized, or Spirit said yes, and this deck that I've had for a while, you guys are familiar with it. Those of you who are new to the channel, welcome back. And those of you who are new, hi. Thanks for joining me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share these messages. This Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine Reunited deck is made by Christabel Jessica, and she is another creator on YouTube. And I've been using these cards for a little while, and they're wonderful. And they talk about lessons that go along with the journey of the Divine Masculine and Feminine. Reunited, I thought of that in conjunction with the Orisha Tarot, that those of us who are in union or at least in communication, we recognize who this person is. We talk to them on a somewhat regular basis. The Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine, in this case, may both be awakened. If not, one is, and one is seeking or looking, or it's going to be coming soon, but they're doing the work, or they're willing to do the work, even without knowing what they're doing. So I thought I would just also choose a monology card to see what energies are going to be governing, or what energies would be most effective. Which energies are going to affect, which moon energy will affect the movements or the situation of each of our Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine, each of our counterparts. So this side is going to be the Divine Masculine, and this is going to be the Divine Feminine. And there are 11 cards in each of the decks, and they also have a card that for the challenge and the outcome. So I want to see how I could work this into the spread using the Orisha Tarot. And I think I have an idea. So let's try it, okay? Thank you all for being the guinea pigs, Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine. So let's get an energy for the masculine. What is the energy that the Divine Masculine will be vibing from? What is the posture? Okay, how is he presenting at this time period? And these messages are timeless, so it could be today, it could be next month, whenever you come across this, it could be next year. All right, who just wants to come out? Oh, wow, the God of Awakening, Haumoko. Oh, is that an R? Raumoko. Raumoko. It's number 8. When 8s are infinity, 8s are repeating cycles also. But this is destiny. 8s are what's destined. And this could talk about also someone who has been incarnated many times. That's what I'm getting. Someone who, this is not their first ride as a human energy. They have been reincarnated several times, whoever this masculine is. But he's awakening to, he's getting his memory back, is what they're saying. He's awakening to his power, his skills, where he came from, who he is, who he truly is, who he is meant to be. And now he's starting to be a little proud the more he finds out about himself. Maybe he's starting to carry himself differently around his family, his friends, because he feels anointed, he feels chosen, he feels awakened. And we know a lot of us have egos, right? And this masculine energy, this particular one, that's what I'm picking up, is that he has been reminded of who he is, and how many times he's been here, how important he is, how his services are necessary. And I think he's kind of gloating about it, right? Let's see what the book says about that energy. Number 8. And he is 8. Ramoko. All right, let's see if this works. Got new tools on the set too, folks. Let's see if I can get that so y'all can see it while I read it. But have patience with me. If you hear work going on like construction, that's in my house. My furnace died and I have to get a new one, and they're starting to work to remove the old one. So yes, it's been a wonderful 2019 so far, but even in that, it was 92,000, which adds up to 11, and 11 is manifestation. So hey, something good's going to come out of it, right? I'm just going to roll with it, you know. Thank God I can do it, you know. Thank God I have good credit. So I guess I needed to put that out there. I don't know why I said that, but I guess I want the Creator to know how grateful I am that even in this challenge, I'm able to survive it and thrive through it. Okay? So, let's talk about this masculine energy. I wish to bring insight to the awakening process of the masculine. The collective of the feminine feels that the masculine does not outwardly seem to be awakening. This is due to a preconceived idea that she holds internally regarding what the process should look like based on her own perceptions, her own perspective. Remembering that we are mirror opposites of each other due to both holding separate ends of a polarity of energy, our process is different to that of the feminine. So because we are opposites, polarities, then our journey is going to look different, and the way we awaken is going to look different. The point is getting to the end goal. The very nature of the energy we hold within is linked to our unique form of being. Our form of creation is connected to the sun, action, and is manifested in an extremely physical way. This is the mirror opposite of the feminine process of awakening through energies connected to the moon, inner receptivity, and intuition pulled down through spirit. For us, it is much more common to experience our intuition in a very instinctual, physical way through our bodies. Therefore, our awakening may not be facilitated through spiritual healings and inner processing as much as the feminine. If we decline an invitation to participate in a meditation or a healing session or similar, it does not mean that we are not awakening and healing. Our awakening is experienced viscerally and somatically through our bodies, similar to the volcano erupting behind me. So, they feel things differently, they see things differently, they awaken differently. All right, so we're looking for certain things for them to join us and become spiritual and, you know, meditate and all that stuff. That may not be the way they get to their awakening. It's going to be through physical work, all right, maybe an epiphany, all right, but they're going to feel it in their bodies. For some, I'm hearing it could be like a crisis, a physical crisis, maybe after a lot of work. Okay, for somebody that might be true. Maybe the divine masculine energy may be experiencing some illness, something that's gonna, I'm hearing, knock him on his butt. Okay, and that is when he's going to get, not that that's when he's going to get, but that's part of his awakening is what I'm hearing. That's going to be part of his awakening. Um, interesting. Okay. So for some of you, that is the energy that you're masculine, or you as a masculine are going to be dealing with. All right. What is the feminine energy? What is the feminine? What is the divine feminine going to be dealing with? Okay. How is she presenting herself to the world, to the masculine? What is she concerned with? What are her concerns at this time when she's dealing with this God of awakening? What is the divine feminine doing as she's walking her path? And she gets Persephone, number 9. Okay, so Persephone she is the goddess of endurance. So it's talking about waiting. This talks about spending time on the dark side as well as the light side. Getting to know yourself, right? Your light side and your dark. So while he is working and towards his awakening, or that's what's happening around him, you or the feminine energy, because I know most of the people who are watching this are women, so, but you could be a masculine, divine masculine, and still be a female, as far as your genitalia goes, right? We all know that. But the feminine energy is waiting, and she's being introspective, all right? And she's been sad, but she's also been hopeful. She's sad and she's been hopeful, and she's doing a lot of soul searching. She sees her own beauty. She sees how necessary she is, and that she is loved by her family, by her mother, maternal energy particularly. It could be a father, if you don't have a mother, but there is a nurturing energy behind her that is welcoming and misses her when she's not around. Her family and her friends, the people who love her. And she looks forward to that. But as well, she knows that she is going to be spending some time in the darkness, even when she's in union. That's going to be part of the journey. That's what I'm getting from that. So let's see what number 9 Persephone is. Ooh. Persephone spends 6 months above the, on top of the earth, and 6 months in Hades, because she tasted the pomegranates when she was there. So she ate 6 pomegranates, and so she has to spend 6 months there, because she was kidnapped and taken there, and her mother was looking for her and couldn't find her. Finally, they realized where she was. And that was the deal. She had already eaten the 6 seeds, so she had to stay. She has to stay down there 6 months, and then she gets to be with her mother. So when the spring and summer are here, that's when she's here, right? And so the winter is her mother mourning her absence, and the fall is, hold it, I'm going to say it like this. It's 6 months in hell and 6 months on top of the earth. So when the weather is changing, the spring to the summer, the springtime, the end of the winter, that's when her mother, Diana, I think it is happy because she's on her way. But the other 6 months, she's anticipating her leaving, and then she's actually leaving. So her mother, that's when we get winter, and her mother is cold. Persephone speaks. I'm here to speak about a particularly powerful fragment of feminine energy related to creation. This is an energy signature that many women are being called to bring to the forefront in this era of great change. I know firsthand about this energy, and I hope that I can be a resource of strength for you as you work on developing this quality within you. A woman's threshold for endurance is extremely high, and it has been since the dawn of time. A woman has the capacity to take what is presented to her and work her magic to turn it into an object of magnificent beauty. A supreme example of this is childbirth. See here how a woman's endurance is extreme? I would like to refer you to my story. I turned the circumstances given to me into such a victory that I am still looked upon as a figure of adaptability today. I was kidnapped and taken to the underworld, and like an alchemist, I turned that into an opportunity to claim the title of the Queen of the Underworld. Through this, I was able to return to Earth, my true home, for 6 months of the year. I ask you to look at situations you are currently in and see how you can use your endurance to climb your way to a title of victory, just as I did. Ashe. So using your time, using your experiences, and not looking at them as failure, but looking at them as a triumph, an accomplishment that you've made. Like I said, if you hear banging and stuff, that's them doing the furnace, replacing the furnace. And I'm thanking the Creator also because it's like in the 60s today. It was in the 50s yesterday, I believe. Well, whatever it is, it's warm. Warmer than it normally would be this time of year. And so I thank goodness and I thank God for that blessing. So we have Persephone, number 9, and we have Ramuko, number 8. So that is 8 and 9 is 17, and that adds up to an 8. So again, this is talking about destiny, life's purpose, repeating cycles with these two. With the male and female, masculine, feminine energies, this is repeating cycles. This could be talking about ghosting, all right, not hearing from one another for a time, turning your backs on one another, or the feminine energy could have turned her back or turned her attention away from the relationship for a while. Could have been for 6 months, 6 days, 6 weeks. It could have been for 9 days, 9 weeks. Because she was moving as she's been guided by the ancestors. Okay. Her energy is being governed by her obedience to God, her obedience to spirit, her listening to her intuition. All right, let's see what the Moonology Oracle card says about the energy that is going to be at play. What's going to be the most what phase of the moon, or what information about the moon cycle, or what astrology symbol in the sky do we need to pay attention to for our divine masculine and feminine? Got 2 cards. First one says new moon in Aquarius. I think that is coming up pretty soon if it's not on now. But bring love into the situation. And that looks like Virgo. Okay. So maybe your divine masculine is a Virgo or an Aquarian, or your divine masculine or divine feminine, either of you. But this talks about focusing on love. The new moon in Aquarius. So there may be something happening soon. And the next, a new start is coming, the new moon. Okay, that is amazing. So you have the new start is coming and bring love into the situation. So this is both 2 new moons. So I think this is saying that new moon energy that we're in right now, or coming into, especially the one that's going to be in Aquarius, is going to be particularly helpful to bring these two into some type of understanding or in union. Okay. So there might be some major changes going on, or some subtle changes, but there's going to be some changes. There are going to be some changes. There's going to be awakening, and there might be some boundaries. Okay, boundaries being established by the divine feminine energy and the awakening of the divine masculine energy. Okay, so let's see. So we're going to do that. Okay. The new start is coming. We're going to put this by the masculine energy, and we're going to put the love by the feminine energy. We're going to put this here. All right. New moon in Aquarius. Okay. There we go. We're still together here. Everybody's still. We're experiencing this all at the same time because it's the same moon. Somewhere out there, underneath the pale moonlight, someone's waiting for me and loving me tonight. Somewhere out there, if we both say a prayer, we'll find one another in the great somewhere out there. Wow. Ooh. And I got that on my left side, so that's my masculine side. So maybe the divine masculine heard that song today, or he was singing it today, or it came to his mind today. So he's believing in the connection over, even if you're not together physically, you're both looking at the same moon. As long as you're both wishing on the same moon, looking at the same moon, you can't be far apart. Oh, that's so beautiful. Okay. All right. And that's why he's not pressed. Okay, that's what he's saying. All right, let's see. Let's look at the divine masculine using the Orisha tarot. Now this is 4 positions. Let's get 4 cards for him and see what's the blockage? What is he concerned about? What is the challenge, and how can he handle it if he chooses to? Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right, one more. Thank you, Orisha. Okay, that's for him. All right, 4 places. Again, Tarot of the Orisha, and it comes with the Orisha Tarot. It's not the Tarot of the Orisha. That's the other deck. It comes with this guy, but the Patakis of the Orisha. This is a real book, you guys. And this is a deck that has 77 cards, and each of the cards are depicted not only on the cards, but next to the definitions in the guidebook. You get a full color picture of the card. All right. So these are 4 positions. The first position is the blessings, ere, which is what you might gain from this lesson or going down this particular road, taking this path. All right, so we're asking about the divine masculine's awakening and how this may affect him in a good way. Right. The second position, osogbo, means negativity. So it talks about what obstacles might come from going down this road. So from making this choice, what obstacles may be encountered. The third position is the ashe, the energy of the universe. This is the energy of the universe, and it speaks to what grace you might have in you or could come from others, which can help with overcoming any obstacles. So this is the the divine stepping in, the universe stepping in, your own ashe, your own power. So this is the third position, and the fourth position is your free will, which is your role in getting this situation solved or the goal accomplished. All right, and what you must do in order to get a good result. Again, free will, it's up to you. All right. Now, hopefully we don't get any towers here, because if we do, then we have to go another way with the reading. But for the divine masculine who is experiencing an awakening, what is the ire? What is the positive that's coming out of this experience for him? And we get strength. Number 9, strength. So you could be dealing with someone who is a Leo, someone who's a Sagittarius also. I get that myself from the strength card. You could also be dealing with someone who's a Libra, someone who has Libra, Sagittarius, and Leo in their chart, or that could be your divine masculine, could have any of those in his chart. In the second position, we get, the Hierophant. This talks about the status quo, all right? This talks about relationships that are established. This talks about tradition, families, the rules, going by the book. So he's going to learn strength, and he might be having to come up against tradition and expectations. That's what I'm getting. Third, this is beautiful. What is this card? The Knight of Discs. The Knight of Discs. So that's like the Knight of Pentacles. Slow moving, but it's got something to say. Got something to say. He's creative. Maybe he is expressing his feelings through music or through poetry. That's what I'm getting here. That is his power. Maybe by speaking up, by expressing himself, the strength that he's going to be able to get when he encounters the obstacle, the backlash from what is expected from him by his family, his friends, his job, the things that he's grown up respecting, his own image that may come into question or may be affected. Again, the status quo. Could be a relationship that he's in. It could be a marriage. Okay? That is a blockage, a relationship. Some of you could be waiting for a divorce. Or you could be waiting for someone to have the strength to stand up and ask for a divorce for somebody. But that's happening. This is part of the awakening. This is what's going on. So some of them may be talking and expressing themselves. And the ire. No, this is the outcome. What you have to do to change this. This is the death card. So this means you have to submit. You have to be willing to change. And you have to be open to change. That's what I'm getting intuitively. That's not what the book is saying about any of these cards. That's just what I'm picking up. That he's going to be exhibiting strength. He's working on getting the strength to stand up to his traditions. Stand up to change what is expected of him. But at the same time, he likes the position. He likes who he is and how he presents. But he knows that he has to change. And he's speaking up about it, or he needs to speak up about it in order for there to be a transformation. Okay, let's see what the book says about such matters. And we're going to look at the 8 of... No, this is, like I said, 9. Strength. Is that 9? Oh, I'm sorry. That's 11. Oh. X and I, Roman numerals. 11. So this is 11. This is manifestation. So he's trying to manifest strength. He's trying to be strong. Or he has become strong, which is giving him the ability to stand up and speak out and make the change. Okay. I'm hearing that song, Man in the Mirror, the part that says, I'm going to make a change for once in my life. It's going to be real good. It's going to make a difference. I'm going to make it right. Okay. Well, that sounds like an awakening to me. Okay. Let's see. Strength. Look, this is the page. So you get all of the information, plus you get the same card, the depiction of the card right there. I love it. And it helps to be able to read it and also to pick up on the energies from it when the picture is right there. I hope that we have enough volume on. Okay, I don't know what happened if I stopped the recording when I shook it, but we're gonna go from here and see. Hopefully that didn't erase. So we're working with strength. All right, so we're gonna put the card here so y'all can see it while I sit back in the couch and get that. Alrighty. Alright, let's see what happens. Is that glare? Alright. Power and strength come in many forms through the strength card. Some show the idea of force and control. Others speak of it as a kind of spiritual purity that brings power. Power in the Orisha traditions is equally complex. Certainly, there's physical power, as we've seen in the chariot, as well as magical power, as we've seen in a variety of places. Power may be gained, earned, lost, or stolen. It's also something that must be tended to and preserved. In this card, we see a leopard, one of the clearest symbols of power that shows up in these traditions. The leopard represents cunning, skill, and strength, all rolled into one. Its spots allow it to stealthily. Let me try it again. The leopard represents cunning, skill, and strength, all rolled into one. Its spots allow it to stealthily track prey. Its speed allows it to catch it, and its strength allows it to carry its meal up into a tree where it can protect it from other predators. Yet the leopard is not motivated by greed. It eats what it kills, and it doesn't kill for sport. Though most often associated with Shango, the leopard symbolism goes much deeper for people inside of the tradition. And we're talking about the Ifa tradition, okay, Yoruba tradition of the people of West Africa, of our ancestors. This is a tradition that has turned into your Santeria, the Kumi, Candomblé, those type of traditions. Voodoo, hoodoo. But we are taking it back to the original Patakis, the original meanings and the traditions. All right, we're going to try to get to that as much as we can through these lessons. All right, back to the book. Though most associated with Shango, the leopard symbolism goes much deeper for people inside of the tradition. He is a role model for our lives. In our sacrifices, we sing about the leopard and its power, in some ways seeking to emulate its characteristics so that we may succeed in life. In emulating the leopard, we sing so we find what will sustain us and acquire it and keep it, despite the efforts of those who might also want what we have. The symbolism is a leopard in the tree overlooking his surroundings, a carcass that's caught safely tucked away, camouflage to allow plans to go unseen, and height as a perspective and vision. So seeing things from a higher perspective, being secretive, and protective of himself and of his prey, or could be of his divine feminine. So this could be through, all right, so the divining for this is through the idea of hunting. Though the idea of hunting might feel odd for those accustomed to city life, the idea of being able to get what will sustain us is a universal human concern. This card speaks of the need to be wise and cunning. It requires forethought so that we do not waste our energies on things that are not possible. We need to take precautions to preserve what we have so that our gains do not slip away from us. Finally, we need to understand that success is not to be feared but enjoyed, like the leopard relaxing in a tree with its successful hunt. So the advice here is be careful. You could ruin everything by moving too hastily. Be mindful of what you share with others because they will use it against you. See more than others. Look at things from a higher perspective. Be sure to put your vision to use for yourself and for your family. The solution here is watch some nature shows about big cats who hunt. So for those of you who like the Discovery Channel and things like that, tune into that. Do not hide your valuables. They will be discovered. Do not hide your valuables. They will be discovered. Lock all your doors and windows at night. Make sure that you're in good shape. And do not ruin what you have already built. Okay. It also has a footnote here. In Cuba, the word for tiger is often used when speaking of the leopard. However, there are no tigers in Cuba or West Africa. So, no tigers in Cuba or West Africa. But when they speak about tigers and leopards in Cuba, it's interchangeable. Good footnote. This book, the pages are like the Encyclopedia Britannica, like heavy, beautiful, all right, photo pages. Okay, so this is what is happening. This is what he is going through, his awakening. He's being told to be careful of thieves, be careful of people stealing his ideas, do what he needs to do to protect himself and his family, and keep his eye on the prize. Okay. And the challenge is the Hierophant. That is family traditions, what's expected of you. Let's see. What is he going to do with that challenge? And the Hierophant is number 5. And this was 11. So 5 and 11 is 16, and that reduces to a 7. Okay. So we're down. We got a 7. Write it down. All right. The Hierophant, number 5. All right. Let me just show you here again. The card is exactly as is depicted in the book. Nice. Alrighty here. The Hierophant. In this card we meet the Creator's representative on Earth. They have the experience and the wisdom to pass on the mysteries into which they have been initiated. Though they may offer help and blessings to anyone in need, only the worthy are given their secrets. In older decks, this card is known as the Pope and highlights the meaning of God's chosen representative on Earth. Okay, so we know regular tarot, sometimes this was referred to as the Pope, the Hierophant. Okay? Orula, Orula, it was a master diviner. People came from all over to see him for his accuracy, wisdom, and solutions. Each day as he divined, with his wife Oshun watching. When the call came for a neighboring town for his services, he left to help. The next day, people started showing up at their home looking for him. Oshun offered to read for them, having secretly learned all of Arula's knowledge by watching. She was a profound and capable reader. When he returned from his trip, he was furious with Oshun. He created a new tool, the Ikuli, or diviner's chain, whose magic only worked for men. Thus he gave Oshun the cowrie shells to divine with, but he prohibited her from divining in the house where his Ifa oracle lived. So he got mad because she was able to do what he was able to do. So he gave her the tools, the cowrie shells, and he forbid her to do readings anymore in his house. Only men can read with the Ikile, and that's the chain of Ifa. The Babalawos use it. In this story, we run into the complexity of different paths for receiving initiations. In the past, the priests of Arula and those of other Orisha worked together, each group having its own specialty and skills. When one needed the others, they would work together to help whoever needed it. In the last century, this relationship has been strained and in many places fallen apart. The legacy of patriarchy, money, and human greed has encouraged people to abandon this interdependent history so that the individual can feel more important. Ashe. So again, learning about being interdependent rather than codependent or narcissistic or selfish. That was me, that last part. Symbolism. Oshun standing outside the house holding her straw tray and her cowries for divining. And Arula standing inside of his house with his diviner's chain arising from his mind like a halo. So he's keeping those secrets to himself. It makes him feel superior, even though she can do the readings, even though she has the power, the same power. But because she is able to do it as well as he had to find a way to lessen her impact. And so he set her outside. So she could still do her reading, she could still work in the marketplace, but his house is, her power stops at his front door, I'm hearing. Okay. All right, so this is a little bit of a battle of the sexes going on, maybe. And maybe that's why Persephone over here is feeling left out. Because because he has talents and skills and he's aware of it, now he wants to call the shots. For some of them, that is the situation for some of you. That your divine masculine has become awakened to his gifts, and now he feels that he is superior and he doesn't need you, or he doesn't want the challenge, or he looks at you as competition. He's looking at his divine feminine more as competition rather than a partner. That's it. Next we have the Knight of Discs. Knight of Discs. So that is the Knight of Pentacles. Slowest moving knight in the deck. And knights are worth, I think they said 12s or 13s. So we already had 7. And this knights are nights are 12. So that's 3. 12 is 1 and 2, so that's 3. 3 and 7 is 10. So we're back to 1. Okay, again, yeah, ego. Okay. Okay, ego. Knight of Disc. That's just me. That's not the book, folks. But that's what I'm getting. Ego. Wow. Alrighty, Knight of Disc. Okay. All right. This knight's power comes from being present in the moment and working from there. They see what's going on and are instantly making minor adjustments to their actions and plans in order to ensure success. Their patience and hard work are a wonder to behold. So again, third position is about the universe stepping in, you using your own power, your own ashe, in order to tend to this situation, overcome challenges, okay, within yourself or within your environment. The Oma Anya, which is OMO-ANYA, or drummers, are an integral part of the Orisha tradition. All right, so the drummers are very important to the tradition. Their skills are used to call the Orisha to the earth through possession of their priests. So it's like when you go to church and you get the Holy Ghost, that type of a feeling, all right? When the music's playing in church, everybody gets kind of, happy, and you start clapping and singing, and next thing you know, somebody catches the spirit. Exact same idea, okay? No different. Now, some of us go to churches where that doesn't happen, but you're aware of it, and you know that it does happen in churches. And it could be a Pentecostal church, it could be a some type of event. Hold on one second. Okay, folks. Well, if I told you what happened, you wouldn't even believe it. I moved my car out of the driveway to put it, because the people are here doing the work, and I need to just put the new sticker for the registration in the window, and I hadn't done it yet. I've just been doing too many things, and so I put it in my neighbor's driveway because that's what we do. I've been living here for almost 25 years. So I knocked on the door, and they have one of those bell rings, and I explained what was happening, and the car was just going to be there for a little while. I left it in the driveway, but they have a double driveway, so I put it closer to my side of the property, and we've done this over the years. My son's father actually used to help repair cars for the gentleman that used to live next door, but he passed away last year. But his son still lives there, and so that's who I thought I was talking to, because his car is parked in front of my house, so I don't have room in front of my house to park an additional vehicle, because the workmen are here. So I said, all right, let me just pull it into his driveway. And apparently, and I spoke to the ring bell thing, and apparently the person who's there freaked out and called the police, and I don't know what she thought I was trying to, I don't know what, but the police realized it was just right next door, and they explained to me, and I just told them what I did, and I apologized to the person. I still haven't seen them because they're still talking to me and the police through the ring bell. So, but I pulled my car out and found the paperwork that I needed and just stuck it in the window so I could come back and finish this. But, whew, people. Anyway, if I wanted to hide something from the police, I certainly couldn't do it on this block, I tell you. I don't know who that person is, but my neighbor's son, his car is in front of my house. That's who I thought I was speaking to. So, I don't know. Maybe he got married and I don't know about it, or maybe he's renting the house out. I don't know about it. I don't know who this person is, but it sounded like a woman. Anyway, let's get back to this. I'm so sorry. So we're at, what do we have here? The Knight of Disc again. Okay, Knight of Disc. Okay. The Knight of Discs. So you can see close up. The Oma Onya, or drummers, are an integral part of the Orisha tradition. Their skills are used to call the Orisha to the earth through possession of their priest. In the formal drumming, there are 3 differently sized bata drums that all play complex interlocking rhythms. Along with singers, the musicians work together to work the energy in the room to bring the spirits through, pushing the tempo here, inserting a break there, and changing the song to keep the process moving, right? Drummers, like the person in this reading, need to walk a balance of letting go and staying in control. If the drummer loses track of themselves and their surroundings, the rhythms will fail and the energy will be lost. If they are too controlled, everything will be too formal and stiff, and the music the energy asks for won't happen. So you kind of have to go with the flow, all right? You have to be in control, but at the same time willing to bend, all right? Like the willow, willing to compromise, make adjustments when things don't go your way. Move your car, go get your registration out of your purse and put it in front of in your window, and just park in front of your driveway. And when the gentlemen go to leave, you'll have to go back and move your car again. You're gonna have to move it anyway, right? I was just trying to not leave it on the street. But it's that type of thing, being able to roll with it, to adjust to it, and not get bent out of shape, all right? The drummer plays a bata drum and singing, lost in the flow of all the parts of their work. So the drummers get so focused on their work and making things happen that they get lost in the flow, and they focus on that. A range of shakers and other instruments used to call the Orisha symbolize the breadth of knowledge that you have to have. Okay, so he has to know those rhythms, those sounds. He has to know how the other instruments move. He has to know how the other singers sound, all right? And he has to be able to communicate with them that while they're doing the music, while they're singing the songs. He has to be able to lead them or to follow the lead at times, depending on what it is that they're trying to call down or summon, all right? So again, knowing what you have to do and being willing to make adjustments in order to get to the end of your plan. So this talks about walking a line between growth and ordered growth and chaotic growth. Walking the line between order and chaos. If you get too focused on the end results or too lost in yourselves, then your work will be spoiled. You have to use patience and a somewhat zen attitude in order to continue to work properly. Whether you'll be working, whatever you're working on will be a success, but the timeline is measured in seasons, not days or weeks. So that goes back to Persephone, seasons, all right? Everything has a season. Okay. I'm hearing that song, Corner of the Sky. Everything has a season. Everything has its goal. Okay. This talks about success in time, needing to roll with what is beyond your control, and physically demanding times that require rest. So maybe you have been overworking, as I said before. Someone may be overdoing something as they're going through this awakening. They're not taking care of their body, or they're not paying attention to their physical symptoms. Could be. The solution here is do not lose control, don't drink liquor, attend to your fitness, and listen to music to heal your soul. So working music into your routine, your day, playing music while you're working, playing music while you're doing housework. All right, that's a tradition. That's definitely a tradition in a lot of Caribbean families, right? Saturday mornings, turn on the music, and that's how we clean the house. Music gets you moving, right? So pay attention to music. Use music to get yourself into a Zen space. Try to look at things from a higher perspective, and don't let yourself get caught up in mundane details. Don't allow yourself to be sidetracked. Just go with the flow. Make the adjustments as necessary. That's the universe and you working, co-creating in order to make things happen the way you want it to. So it's not only about controlling, it's not about just controlling, it's about being able to bend and to compromise in order for you to get to the greater good. Seeing the worth in compromising, seeing the worth in making adjustments. Okay, so the next card that we have, which is his own free will, the masculine energy's free will, is death. All right, and we know death is transformation, change. Definitely glary. Okay, so that's better. Let's see, how do I read? Okay, if I read it this way, it's death, so then that must be the way it goes. So there is a candle, and there is a dagger, and there is a skeleton. And this looks like a snake, and we have someone that has been toiling, sowing, like a farmer. There's an alegba in the middle there, so that's the choices at the crossroad, and being protected as you do these changes, as you reach these crossroads. And that's number 13, and that's 4. So 13 is a 4. Knight of Swords is a 3. 3 and 4 is 7. We're back to 7 again. Wow. Okay. So let's see what death is. 13. Okay, so let me show you the book again. Ooh. Okay. So that's the book. And here's a card. So you could see it while I read. Okay. I'm going to have to piece this together, but hopefully we'll get the message that we're supposed to. All right. Death is a card that most people fear seeing in the reading. Whether it symbolizes an actual death or loss, it is rarely a card without challenge. Even if it ends something bad in our life, there's often a lot of fallout. Even if it ends something bad in our lives, there still is often a lot of fallout. When we pray to the Orisha, we always ask not to see death. Philosophically, we know that each of us has a destiny that includes death. We can hasten this expiration date with negative and destructive behavior, but we can't lengthen it. For those who find their death prematurely, there's often complicated spiritual fallout that falls to those left behind to do on their behalf. It is said that each of us has a candle in death's house. As they burn, our lives unfold, and we move closer to our end. So when the candle burns out, death comes to collect us. There are many stories of people seeking to cheat this outcome, but it's a very dangerous thing to do. Death is not easily dissuaded and often requires another life in the stead of the one who wants to be spared. In this card, we find a life unfolding in the smoke. So life is unfolding within the smoke. Birth, work, family, and home all drift into smoke as the life moves from womb to joining the ancestors. So if you look, there's embryo, and then there's work, and then there's old age and the ancestors. Again, these cards are by Andrew McGregor. In this card, we find life unfolding in the smoke. Birth, work, family, and a home all drift in the smoke as life moves from womb to joining the ancestors. In the center above the flame, we find Allegra offering guidance to help get the most out of the time this person has. So again, Allegra is here, helping them make decisions at the crossroads of their lives. Death is not something to be feared. Historically, in the areas of Africa that the Orisha come from, the dead were buried in the ground under the house. They stayed close. Within the Orisha traditions, there's also belief that we will act as guides to our kin after death. After some time, we may also choose to come back to earth through reincarnation, usually to rejoin our family line at some point. Symbolism is the candle as the measure of time that we have, the smoke of memories of the time spent so far, a skeleton to remind us where we all will end up. Having a living relationship with the idea of death is a delicate balance. It is easy to become cynical or to grab after the passing of hours. It is easy to become cynical or to grab after the passing of hours, Hours. Yet neither approach is fruitful as a way of living. Instead, we must work to value what is around us and treasure the passing of time. It is said that the greatest thing God did for the world was to make one day follow another. The passage of time allows for growth, change, healing, reunions, and evolution. This card talks about something ending. This is about if someone is sick, they may have a limited time. This also talks about what are you doing and have you been wasting your time? And it says growth comes from showing up, not from sudden change. Growth shows from showing up, not from sudden change. So doing the work, not just popping up at the end and expecting everything to be the way you want it. The solution is to stop asking why things end. So this is about acceptance. Don't spend time where death hangs out. Honor your own time and work the ground on which you stand. So, don't worry about death. Take care of your environment, your home, your family, your work. Pay attention to your awakening. Focus on what it is, the change that's happening, and being willing to let go of the past. To accept the things that have ended. Be able to go with the flow. And enjoy the awakening. So, we said that everything added up to 7. So that is the 5th position in this, the way the author put this book together. So the 7th position is the Chariot. Oh, let me do that better. The Chariot. Number 7. The Chariot is a card that represents Cancer. And for me, the Chariot also represents Sagittarius and Cancer. Like the yin and the yang of that. So again, this is talking about the masculine and feminine energies together, working together, being in control of the masculine and feminine energies. Okay. So that is what's happening for the divine masculine. Let's see what number 7 gives him as he makes his journey. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, the Chariot is a card about progress. This might be success or evolution. It might also be a conquest. In general, this card encompasses the need for balance, often shown by 2 animals pulling the chariot together. Many cards include some symbol that highlights the divine is steering or moving the chariot. So 2 animals pulling the chariot. In this card we find that Oduwa, just in time. Oduwa, O-D-U-D-W-A, and there's a tilde over the A, accent mark over the A. The chariot. You find the first king, Oni, of Ife. He was a human who came and conquered much of the area where the Orisha traditions came from. It is somewhat complicated to untangle the life of this person and his later existence as an Orisha after death. So, the chariot, the king of Ife, he lived as a human and became an Orisha after his death. Wow, that's honor. It is said that Oduwa unseated Obatala as the ruler of the area. Spiritually, he took over many of the roles Obatala played in the mythology of the Orisha. Originally, Ochanla, a female avatar of Obatala, is said to have created the earth. However, it came to be said that Obatala was sent to make land by the Creator. On his way, he stopped to drink and did not complete his task. Oduwa took this opportunity to climb down a chain to the earth and became the one to create the land. Here, the story mirrors a political history. The chariot is a card not just of victory today, but of the future that success can bring as well. Why did I say chariot? Because that's how I grew up hearing that word, chariot. The chariot is a card not just of victory today, but of the future that success can bring as well. Oduwa's descendants include Agnayu, Aganyu, Dada, and Shango. To this day, the Oni claims lineage back to Oduduwa as part of their right to rule. Imagine something you set in motion lasting 1,000 years. How would that affect the decisions that you make today? What would you do for that level of complete success? The symbolism is the pyramid, which suggests Oduduwa's origins in Egypt, an elephant in the background as the passing of Obatala's power, a leopard in the front for the lineage that started in this card, and otherwise wearing his crown and holding his staff. This person is in great position to progress in life. If they are shrewd and diligent, they will be unstoppable. Certainly have their ancestors and the will of their spirits with them. For lasting success, they must be mindful to take a balanced approach. If they're too harsh or too soft, things will fall apart. Though often associated with victory and triumph, it is important to consider the question, then what? When you have won the job, settled the argument, or gotten the lover that you wanted, what do you do next? How do you handle working and living with whomever you are in conflict with? What might you do to get their support? How do you preserve what you've gained? This talks about success in a foreign land. This talks about knowing that your enemies are circling and knowing that these enemies are people that you know. This talks about expanding your territory, a growth in your social status, and overcoming all obstacles. So the solution here is to pray for wisdom, to be cunning, keep your plans secret, and be benevolent. Be benevolent. Show gratitude and charity. So, the divine masculine is awakening, and it seems like he is coming into his fullness of himself. And for some of you, I'm hearing for some of you, this is truly a reconnection with your lineage. That some of you do come from this area, in Benin and Togo, or even maybe in Nigeria. But I think the Ife is maybe in Benin. Could be. But some of you can trace your lineages. You'll be able to in this coming year, or while after this awakening, or during this awakening. That may be the thing that brings you to your end goal in the awakening, because it talks about the divine masculine needing to do things physically. Okay, so if they trace their roots, maybe they make a sojourn back to Africa and find that they are connected, that they are part of a tribe. And maybe somebody out there might even be the chief or the king of a tribe, and may find that out through their lineage, through their DNA. For somebody, that's what's going to happen. I don't know why I'm getting it, but that's what I got for someone. So be benevolent and cunning, pray for wisdom, and keep your plans secret. So, if you're going to do the DNA testing, maybe you don't need to tell too many people what you're doing until you find out what the results are. If it's about that kind of lineage, that's what I'm thinking. Okay. So, that's what's happening for our divine masculine. Let's see what is going to happen for our divine feminine. I know this is long. It's going to be long. But I'm liking this. Now, we said that she was going to be bringing love into the situation with this new moon in Aquarius. So some of you may be dealing with Cancer. Could be a divine masculine who is a Cancer. Could be a divine feminine who is an Aquarius or a Cancer. Could be someone who is a Leo. Right? Could be Leo in your chart. Aquarius in your chart, and Leo, Aquarius, Cancer, Sagittarius, Libra. Could be Libra too, because of that abattalage, like justice. Yeah. So that could be also strength. Yeah, that's Leo, Aquarius, Sagittarius. Okay, that's what I'm getting, but it doesn't matter because masculine, feminine, when you're coming into balance, you incorporate all of the signs. So let's see what we have for you, ma'am. Our feminine energy. Number 9, Persephone. So card number 1. All right, position number 1. All right, let's see. Position number 2. Position number 3. And there's no upside down and reverse in this, I don't believe. 3. Okay, and one more. Okay, we have the whole deck turned over in the middle. Okay. Oh, I found the cat. She didn't escape. Who is this? You have a card? Yes. Let's not do that. One card, please, Orisha. One card, please. One card. What is free will for this? All right, we'll go with that one. All right, so first position, the blessing is the 6 of Wands. Victory! Oh, 6 of Wands is victory in the regular tarot. I think this is talking about victory at a crossroads and loyalty. Looking at someone, measuring their loyalty, making a decision, making choices. Okay, Divine Feminine. Position number 2, we have, oh yeah, this is the 9 of Cups. Wishes fulfilled. The protection of your ancestors. All right. Making them proud of you. And the Osobo is strength. In the 3rd position. Okay, this is Ashe, this is Osobo. Okay, so this is your Ashe. Okay, the universe, the position of the universe, and you, along with you. So you, Divine Feminine, you have strength. Okay? That's what's going to get you through whatever this crossroad is, that something about you getting your wishes fulfilled may be not exactly what you bargained for, but you have the strength to deal with this. Ooh, the last card is the Tower. Okay. So now they say when you get the Tower, you're supposed to stop the reading if it comes at the first card. If it comes anywhere else, you have to remember that the Tower is there. Okay? So the Tower is some unexpected happening, and that is number 16. So you have to remember the Tower in all of the positions that you are dealing with when you see the Tower. Okay. All right, let's pull that out here. Since it came up, we need to look at that, because that is the final, your free will. Unexpected change come quickly when you see the Tower in a reading. Even when this card is giving us a warning, whatever it's related to is likely to take us by surprise. Events will shake our foundation, break what we have been building, and separate what we have been trying to bring together. And they're probably beyond our control to stop. Like my furnace burning out. In the Odu Okana, we experience something that disrupts and derails the flow of our lives. It's like the lightning strike into the traditional tower card. It wreaks havoc in our life, and we begin to fall like the characters cast out of the building. When this energy arrives, we must devote our attention to stop our falling and toward finding some type of stability. So devote your attention to stopping falling and then gaining stability. If we yield to the falling, we will fall forever and never recover. So don't get bogged down in the loss and in the changes, in the separation, having to let go of something. Could be having to move, change residences, spend money that you weren't expecting to have to spend. Don't fall into it. Just don't allow yourself to be brought down with it. Try to look for the bright side. Like I did when I said, well, as much as this is crazy, at least I have good credit, and I just got finished refinancing, paying off all of those small bills, so I say on that, right? Could have been worse. While the energy of this card can make clarity difficult, it is important not to proceed in an irrational manner. With a pole and a line, you cannot catch a hippo. That's Patakis. Seems obvious, but the surprise and grief that can come with this card often pushes people to make equally irrational decisions. People will grab at anything they think will offer some escape from the feelings or consequences they are living. So don't make any rash decisions. When you are in a space of adversity for the divine feminine, okay, all right. When you are facing some adverse situations, okay, don't allow yourself to get bogged down in it. Just accept it and try to move ahead, make the best of things. We also say that when a tree falls, one part always remains upright. That no matter how complete the appearance of total destruction, some part will continue to live and grow. That there is hope. Yet, like a plant we wish to harvest, we must be careful to also leave enough for it to continue to grow. The one blessing with this card is of a new beginning, the possibility of a better tomorrow, and the clearing up of old problems. The symbolisms in the card are a fishing hook to remind us not to get irrational, a fallen tree with one new shoot, Chango's axe, representing his tendency to fight for people in tough situations, and the sun as a source of light and hope. How do you prepare for something difficult, Divine Feminine? How about unexpected change? In general, if this card appears and a person is not living its energy already, they had better batten down the hatches, save for emergencies, and be ready for change. Ashe. Even more so, they need to work on their own fortitude and resilience. Life is about to test them to the core. It is also important to offer them hope, not through fantasy, but by looking for those pieces that remain alive with possibility. Something in their life is still growing. And if you focus on that, it will expand and life will continue. I got a ding in here. So, there is change that's going on, Divine Feminine. Real 3D practical change that is happening in your life. Even throughout all these difficulties, there's still something that remains. There's still hope. You still have hope, right? So continue to focus on what you are expanding, what is to come, and how you can continue. Make the adjustments. Persephone went down and to hell, and she made a mistake by eating those 6 pomegranates, and now she has to deal with the consequences of it. So she makes the best of it. She is the queen of the darkness when she's there. But she is the goddess of endurance at all times. She balances her good and her bad, her hot and her cold, her yin and her yang. She balances it out of necessity in order to get what she wants. I heard that a woman got to use what she's got to get what she wants. A song by James Brown. The line by James Brown. Okay, so the solution here is do not act in anger. Go to therapy. Feel your head. Don't be foolish. Pray to Shango. If you find yourself shocked, sit down and rest until it passes. So, don't overreact to things. Don't let things and situations get you out of your bag. All right? Take time to reflect, relax, and to breathe through these challenges. That's your prerogative to do that. But that's how you'll get through these situations, these eruptions in your flow. You know how they say in church, the devil is busy. You know, when you're on the track of doing the right thing, there's always something that comes up to deter you. And so, what are you going to do? You gotta go with it. Secure yourself, secure your family, just like you do on the plane, right? Drop in the air pressure. You put the mask over you first, and then you help the child, right? So, taking care of yourself, going to the therapist if that's what you need, to get some counseling because you've been through a lot, because a lot of things are happening at the same time. So remember that as you go through this. This is about being strong, endurance. Absolutely. And being victorious. 6 of Wands. Ashe. Don't forget to let me know how you all like this tarot. I'm really enjoying it. I love these messages. I think these are very helpful. And it goes along with this beautifully, I think. 6 of Wands, right? I think it goes along with this for the Divine Masculine and Feminine very well. Very good with the lessons. And maybe helping us get some deeper insight into what the blockages are so we can clear them out. So here we go, 6 of Wands. Put it back here so you can see it while I read. Okay. Move this back here. I think we need to keep this here because they said that the tower, we have to remember the energy of the tower throughout this reading. So, this card represents a very important Odu and Lukumi divination, where we find the proverb, the dog has 4 legs, but he can only walk one road. Divination is a key practice in helping people learn what roads are theirs in the Lukumi tradition. Here we see an Oriate divining to help people navigate their indecision. So he's the teller, he's the seer, he's the reader, okay? And so he is helping people to get the messages. Oriate. Yeah, those colors are similar, carrying through both those colors. That's interesting. To navigate correctly, we must also know where we are and where we have been. Despite the fact that most Orientales today are men, the first ones in Cuba were all women brought over by the slave trade. Ashe. We must also know who we are. Another story is about peony seeds arguing among themselves about whether they were red or black. They went back and forth and could not decide, and the sound started to annoy Shango. When they would not resolve the conflict themselves, he got angry and cursed them to live inside of his rattle, and only make a sound when they were shaken to call him. Of course, we know the peony seeds are both red and black. All right, those are those little seeds that they have in their red and black. And those are Shango's colors, those are Legba's colors. And he got sick of them trying to decide who was red and who was black. And so he said that they couldn't make any noise unless they were inside of his rattle and shaken to call him. The symbolism. The forked road shows the choices that need to be made. The peony seeds and the shakers shown the need to both know ourselves and make decisions before they're made for us. And this is a female Oriate, Oriate, with a tilde over the E, or accent over the E. Respecting those wise women who brought the Lukumi traditions to life in Cuba. The cat and the mouse reflecting the need to know which you are and act accordingly. Are you the prey or are you the predator? Who are you? Where are you coming from? Where do you want to be? Knowing the answers to these questions, to all three of these questions, will bring a victory. So the card is saying that you don't know who you are and you have to decide first. So figure out who you are. Embrace who you are. And that may be a shocking shakeup. When you have too many obligations, nothing gets taken care of. It talks about starting over or changing your path. It also talks about someone who is a teacher, a leader, a guider. So someone could be a reader on YouTube. They could be a counselor. They could be a lawyer, a teacher. This card also talks about success and great achievements. But remembering that we have the Tower card there, then there's going to be a change that's unexpected that's going to lead to great achievements. Okay, that's what I'm getting. Talks about honoring the ancestors. Don't do too many things at once. So don't do too many multitasking. All right. Don't argue with yourself. Don't complain. And divine before deciding. So any important decisions in your home that need to be made or in your life that need to be made, you need to consult the divine. So do your prayers. If you do readings, read for yourself or have someone read for you. All right, whatever way you use the divine, use that method in order to help guide you as you make these important decisions on which way your path is going to go. So, but this is good stuff, right? That was in the first position. Second position was Nine of Wands, right? Nine of Cups. So that's wishes fulfilled in the regular tarot. Remember, we always have the Tower there. So, Nine of Cups here. The Nine of Cups is a card of fertility and growth. Let me just bring this closer so you can see. And it's the same in the book. You can see that too. Same depiction. Right? So. Nine of Cups. It is a card that marks a growth in emotional well-being. It is often be tied to a time of abundance and prosperity. So for some of you, for some of the divine feminines, you're going to maybe experience a loss that you are going to have to take charge of a situation. For some of you, it could be that you have a relative or family member that passes and you have to be the one that's doing the arrangements or paying for it, or both, or a combination thereof. We ask to step up to the plate, and there's going to be some big changes, but the changes may lead to you getting what it is that you really have been truly hoping and wishing for. That's me. Back to the book. The proverb, sky, sand, and sea, highlights nature's fecundity. What happened? I'm hearing like somebody's crying. I have 2 workers downstairs. Anyway, the proverb sky, sand, and sea highlights nature's fecundity. Fecundity. I knew how to say it yesterday. The energy moves from one place to another, allowing life to flourish and thrive. This interplay of elements are thought to mirror the process of conception in humans. With this card, we need to explore ideas tied to fertility and nurturing. When things go well, the person or thing being nurtured grows healthily and takes a proper place in the web of the world. If there is neglect or abuse, then the ripples of these problems may carry forward and lead to discrimination and disconnection, alienation, and many problems finding happiness in this world. When we are talking symbolically about a project, a job, or another venture, it's important to think of this proverb. No part of nature is disconnected from the world, just as we are connected to friends and family and co-workers and even adversaries. Tending to this web of connection is integral in finding happiness and success. So I think this is talking about there may be changes, you may get your wishes fulfilled, but there may be people around you or situations around you that are still challenging. Get to know who you're dealing with, get to know who is around you, who the players are. If you're moving into a new environment, familiarize yourself. Who is really in power here? Okay, you need to know that. That's what I'm hearing. If you're going into a situation, like let's say you're going into a new family, you know, who is the matriarch? Who is the patriarch? Who calls the shots here, really? You may think it's your partner, and you may come to find out, okay, for some of you, you're wishing to be with your divine masculine, of course, and you have a certain image of him, and you expect him to stand up, right, and be victorious. But for some of you, that may be a surprising challenge to find out that all is not as it seems. But you're going to need to get a look at the landscape before you make any decisions. And that's why you're going to have to use your divination in order to make your decisions. Because there are going to be a lot of things going on that you're not going to understand, that your divine masculine may or may not share with you. And you're still going to have to tap into the guidance that got you here in order to help you navigate the thing that you asked for. The thing that you wished for that has now manifested, but it's not coming the way you expected it. It's not looking the way you expected it to look, but you have to deal with that. This talks about an animal being at home in each environment. This talks about the sun sustaining everything. So sky, sand, and sea. an animal that's at home in any of these environments. So this is someone who is adaptable, someone that is changeable, right? Mutable. The sun sustaining it all. The sun knows everything. The sun knows everybody's secrets. The sun knows all the history because the sun has been there from the beginning and it is shone on all of us. Okay, so the sun is enlightenment. The sun is sustenance. And the trees bridging all three areas from root to leaf. Sky, sand, and sea. Sky, sand, and sea. All connected by trees, roots, family, history, knowing where you came from. This card speaks of increasing happiness and good outcomes. The more attention that is put on holistic or interwoven models of growth, the better things will go. If a person becomes selfish or greedy, much, if not all of it, will be lost. When things are great, it's easy to avoid anything negative. Yet even things that are problems must be thought of as a success. This talks about enjoying your life. Notice where you have friction and take care of it immediately. One area of your life is thriving, but how are the others? So when you get to your happy place, don't forget about what's going on behind you or what you left behind or the other important areas of your house. Don't lose focus on that, of your life. I say house, your life. It isn't about predator and prey. It's about interconnection. Interconnection. So now that you found love, what are you going to do with it? What you going to do with it? That's the challenge on the happiness. Okay. And the solution is to sit in nature, so get grounded. Take breaks to enjoy life, so go on vacations. Take care of yourself. Remember to thank those who got you here. Your ancestors, the people that helped you, your co-workers, your friends. And honor your enemies. You honor them by taking notice of them and knowing where they are. See who they are. Identify them, at least in your own heart. All right, and so the next card is Strength, which the Divine Masculine also got, but he got that in his first position. So yours is in the third position. And the third position for us is universe and your ashe. So the strength that you are going to be exhibiting to go through all of these changes and to handle it like a champ comes from the strength of the universe and your own strength that you have learned through these adversities. Okay. Ashe. Very good. I got that quick one. So strength. We had that for the masculine, but some of you may not have watched that. So we're going to get that together also. I am enjoying this for real. Strength is the power, and strength comes in many forms through the strength card. Some show the idea of force and control. Others speak of it as a kind of spiritual purity that brings power. Power in the Orisha tradition is equally complex. Certainly, there is a physical power, as we've seen in the chariot, as well as a magical power we have seen in a variety of places. Power might be gained, earned, lost, or stolen. It is also something that must be tended to and preserved. In this card we see the leopard, one of the clearest symbols of power that shows up in these traditions. The leopard represents cunning, skill, and strength all rolled into one. Its spots allow it to stealthily track prey. Its speed allows it to catch it, and its strength allows it to carry its meal up into a tree where it can protect itself from other predators. Yet the leopard is not motivated by greed. It eats what it kills and does not kill for sport. So this is being mindful of your actions, okay? Being honest about your feelings, and being protective of yourself, your home, your relationship. Although mostly associated with Chango, the leopard symbolism goes much deeper for people inside of the tradition. It is a role model for our lives. In our sacrifices, we sing about the leopard and its power. In some ways, seeking to emulate its characteristics so we may succeed in life. In emulating the leopard, we sing so we can find what will sustain us, and then we acquire it and keep it, despite the efforts of those who might also want to know what we have. May also want to take what we have. Symbolism here is a leopard in a tree overlooking its surroundings, a carcass that it has caught and safely tucked away. Height as perspective and vision, and camouflage so that you can go unseen. So, taking a look at things from a different perspective, camouflaging your camouflaging your light. You may have to make some adjustments to yourself, your personality, so that you can go under the radar. If this has to do with a relationship, dealing with family and friends, co-workers of your divine masculine, or even him, you may have to dim your light, so to speak, for a while in order to get comfortable, in order to get a lay of the land, and to get a better perspective. It talks about taking your time, not ruining anything by hasty movements and hasty decisions. Being wise and cunning, requiring forethought so you do not waste your energy on things that are not possible. Remember, you have this Tower card here with your strength. So you may be feeling a little weak. It could also be talking about you having to exert more strength, show more strength in a time, or the way that you show strength could be changing. And be mindful of what you tell other people, because they're going to use your information against you. You are more than others. Be sure to put your vision to use for you and your family. You see more than others do. This talks about watching nature shows, show Big Cats Hunting, so maybe you and the Divine Masculine will be watching the Discovery Channel together because you got the same card in the first position. Do not hide your valuables, they will be discovered. Okay, so if you have money or jewelry or stuff like that, if you're trying to hide it from someone or the authorities, don't even bother, because it's going to be discovered when you move it. Make sure you lock all your doors and windows at night, and stay in good shape, good health, and don't ruin what you have already built. Alrighty, so low battery. Why? It's plugged in. Because it got unplugged when I... Okay, I don't know what's going on here, Divine Feminine, but I'll be putting this together, hopefully, because these are great messages. So, don't ruin what you've built. Make sure you try to stay in shape. Keep your doors and windows locked at night. And pay attention to your valuables and your surroundings. Okay? So now we had to add up these cards. We already know what the Tower is telling us. So, this was 6, and this is 9. 6 and 9 is 15, so that's 6. And this is strength is 11. So 11 and 6 is 17. 1 and 7 is 8. Okay. And the tower is 16, which is 7. Right? And 7 and 8 is 8 and 8 is 16. 6. Victory. Okay. Love, healing, victory. And number 6 is the lovers. Oh, okay. The lovers, number 6. The lovers is one of the cards that isn't really what it seems. It looks like it might show romance or love or marriage. However, tradition says it's a card of ambiguity. Older decks show a central figure, usually a man, with 2 women. It is said that he is choosing between them, or that one is the chaperone and the other one is his date. The only thing that is truly clear is that a choice is to be made, but whether it is the right one remains to be seen. In the stories of the Orisha, there can be found many examples of intrigue between lovers, such as one charming a lover away from another Orisha to be with them. So one Orisha charming another Orisha away so that they could be together. These stories are one of the places where the non-Western nature of the Orisha stands out. The use of magic to sway lovers is used by many to either win the heart or to persuade someone to sleep with them. Many stories carry cautionary tales about trying too hard to win, such as with Oba and the 5 of Cups in this deck. And Oba cut off her ear trying to trick Shango into staying with her. But she did that on the advice of Oshun, who was having an affair with Shango. Oba was Shango's wife, and Oshun was having an affair with him, and she went to Oshun and asked her what it is that she could do to get him to come back to her and stay. And Oshun said, "Oh, make him this soup and cut off your ear and put it in it, and he'll stay with you forever." And when Shango came back and he saw what she had done, he was disgusted and he left and he never came back. So she learned a lesson about trusting people. Where's this card? Yep, she learned about trusting people, especially in matters of the heart. You can't always trust the people that you think you can trust, because they may have a hidden agenda. You may be asking your friends, or this could be your divine masculine discussing you with his friends and family, and they're telling him, or your friends are telling you, "Oh no, leave him," or "Oh no, you don't want that person," or "Oh, they wouldn't make a good mate," whatever like that. Take into account that these people, remember, this is still that tower energy. Those people may want your person for themselves, and that's why they're telling you, you don't want that person. That's not always good advice, even when it comes from people that you trust. The king of a town wanted to wage war on the town of women. He asked his warriors to go and conquer them. Shango, Babaluaye, Ogun, and others all went and were turned back in defeat. The king then asked the female Orisha to go. Yemiya and Oshun should go first. Boroya because she is fierce and proud, insisted that she would go first. Returning defeated, Oshun was then set. Being wise, she divined before going and was told to bring a calabash, which is a type of gourd, and she could play and sing along with them. She made her offerings and would sing about how she did not know how to fight. As she sang, the women in the town came to see what she was talking about, and they put down their weapons and joined her in song. Together, they all left the town of women. She walked them right into the city where the men were waiting outside. Together they all lived and became followers of Oshun. So, the city of women on the hill in the background talks about separations. So you might be in separation with your partner, not living together, even if you're in communication. Oshun and her sherike playing and singing. That's the this here thing, like a Morocco, but it's got the beads on the outside. Shekere, shekere, shekere. I have one over here, and you could hear the sound. A line of women dancing and following her. So this is being led by Oshun, but music and dancing. Okay, so this is it. Music and dancing that are going to be integral in you getting to your happy place. In this card, you need to be clear about what it is that you want. And you can't make believe that others know what you need or how to go about getting it. So they're not reading your mind. You can't rely on traditional roles either. It may be that only through divination is the way forward known. It is also important not to fight. Confrontation won't win the day when this card shows up. So this talks about an unclear path, lots of bad choices. A person's attitude is interfering with them getting what they want. Others are showing off but unable to deliver. And when you finally succeed, everything will be yours. So the advice here is to go for divinations often. Don't listen to people who brag about themselves. Talk to Oshun. And do not be disrespectful of women. So don't disrespect other women. Don't disrespect other women in your family. Don't disrespect the karmic if that's what you're dealing with, if that's the term that you use in dealing with that situation with your divine masculine. You may have a karmic situation that involves other women. Okay. Don't be disrespectful. Hold your peace so that you can get a good idea of what really is happening. Okay. So that you can get an idea of what's really going on. All right. Don't act too hastily. Just watch and wait. Okay? Watch and wait. Because you're going to get what you want. It's just going to take some hard work. You may have to take the lead in the situation because that's just what it calls for. Ding on the phone. It's like everybody knows what happened to the furnace. I'm getting all these salespeople, but I already made a decision and getting my heat up and running before. But look at God. It's been great these last couple of days. Like the first 2 days it was freezing, but yesterday it was like it was nice, and today it was beautiful. I was able to go outside without a jacket. Even the police officers didn't have their jackets on. It's pretty nice, and it's just January, so we thank God for that. You know, it could have been definitely worse. So bring love into the situation. New moon in Aquarius. So don't lose your temper. Watch what's happening around you. Be willing to adjust. Make changes. Go with the flow. And you may have a new, you may be moving, But whatever you're doing, remember, these are big changes, and it's not easy. It's not easy. But you can do it because you are the goddess of endurance. I think that this was very appropriate. It feels to me like the messages were resonated with one another between the book and the cards and the intuitive messages that I was getting. I think that this all was cohesive, right? So that's the advice, and I don't think we need to find out anything about the mutual challenges, because I think that we are growing past that at this stage. This is, I think, someone who is dealing with a masculine who is awakening, who's maybe a little full of themselves, and a feminine who has to maybe feels like she needs to step back a little bit in order to get what she wants because of who she's dealing with. But there is love in the situation, and they're matching. They're both dealing with new moon energy, and a new beginning is coming. You just gotta bring love into the situation. So I hope you all enjoyed this. I did. Let me know what you think about this way of doing the readings. And I'm thinking about, if you have a question, or if you want a question addressed, make a comment in the video, and I will, you can write as much as you want. You can talk about your situation in the comment section, and when I'm ready to pick a question for the next reading, maybe I'll answer your question. Okay? And maybe that's how we'll do this. So if people have questions, they can put them in the comment section, and when I get around to doing a reading, I will pick a question and I'll make it formulated in a way that it could be open to the collective, okay, or include the collective in it. And that way it's kind of like you getting a personal reading without you paying for one, right? But you're helping the community by asking the question, and so this is part of your service. Okay, I'm being told this will also count towards your service credits. Like in college, right? Okay, work study. So if you have a question about your situation and you want to get an answer using the Orisha Tarot, doesn't have to necessarily be the Divine Masculine and Feminine Tarot, but definitely using the Orisha Tarot. Then tell me the situation, and if it's something I could just answer off the top of my head, of course I'll do that. But if it needs a reading, then why not? All right, and that way we'll all get the lessons. So, thank you so much, and I appreciate all you guys. Happy New Year, and this reading is good for you anytime you come across it, if I could put it together. All right, and make it make sense. So thank you all very much for allowing me to share these messages with you, and I hope that we all do well in this coming new year. Looks like changes are happening. All right, but they're doable changes. I'm coming. We both have strength. All right, I'll talk to everyone real soon. I say peace.